everydaytaichi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. 1, 2, 3, bend at the waist. 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at the heel of your opposite foot. 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight. Kick your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, shift weight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hands at your waist. 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet. Choose one side, cross and sit on that side. Stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Head erect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Ken's saying when you do the Heisman, you bend the knee on the side in which your hand is up higher, the side that you're sitting down on. Do not lean, okay, because that's out of Tai Chi posture. You want to cross and you want to hold your stance, stretch out with your hands and your legs, but keeping the planted foot as your post. Do not lean in any way. Just sit down straight up and your posture will be the same. Okay, it takes a little strength and it takes a little practice, but if you understand how to do it, maybe that will help. It will help us with building strength and helping us with our movements in Tai Chi. Okay? And overall, just good for balancing and strength. Okay, so practicing our golden cockerel, sometimes you don't need to look at, or most of the times, just don't look at me, just listen to me. If I falter, maybe that will cause you to lose your concentration, but whatever works for you. So whatever works for you should work with, whatever works for me should probably work with you, which is concentrating 2 inches below your navel, which is your center of gravity. Good Tai Chi posture, okay? Dropping those shoulders right away and relaxing. Relaxing the upper portion from your waist up and grounding yourself waist down. And think through what we're going to do. We're first going to stand on our golden cockerel, will stand on its left foot. Therefore, we're going to have to shift our weight to the left to alleviate the weight of our right. Here we go. Center, up, golden cockerel. Very good. So we learn to center with our foot and our hand. The counterbalance hand swings out and our hands are cocked rather than relaxed. Every time you feel like you're going to fall, you keep the center hand and the back hand stretched out. And if you can think about the first day that you tried this, you've gotten so much better. When we do our kickouts now, we remember that we center, bring in that right foot, bring out the right hand on the outside, kicking out in line, counterbalancing. Okay, you can do it with me. Concentrate again. Last set. Okay. I just want to spend a couple of minutes talking about balancing. So we're all in here for better balance. If we were to do just the golden cockerel and the kickouts over and over again, yes, you will be better. But alone, to do it just those two movements by itself and expect you to become better is expecting a lot. So what are the supportive things you can do to help your balance? The supportive things or strategies that you can do to help your balance is all of Tai Chi. And why do I say that? Because all of Tai Chi teaches you about your body. It teaches you not only about your footwork, it teaches you about alignment, it teaches you about where your body weight should be. Plus, it builds up strengthened muscles and confidence for your total body. So what am I emphasizing is that just to do this in the correct way is, yes, beneficial. You know it's centered, you know this is counterbalanced, you know this is centered, you know you have good Tai Chi posture. But that alone cannot just automatically give you the balance, but it's all of the things that we incorporate as we learn Tai Chi. So they are very, very important. They are the basis in which better balance can be gained. Practicing our footwork on a T stance and an L stance and a bow stance and a sit back and a sit down and a twist step. Here we go. Good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, rooting down on our right or back foot. Let's see, hands at your waist. Here we go. T stance, out and to the side, L stance, turn the hips and waist, adjust the back foot, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, root down, T stance, L stance, turn the hips and waist, move that energy, adjust the back foot, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, root down, T stance, move that energy on an L. Now move the energy up and across, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, T, L, move that energy up and across, adjust the back foot, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, T, L, bow. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, T, L, move the energy, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, T, L, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, T stance, one more, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, T. Okay, good. I like what I see, however. Remember we said out and to the side. Out and to the side means out and to the side in one motion. Out and to the side does not mean here. This is only out. We need to come out and to the side on our heel, right? So we cannot accept the fact that you know that and push your foot out here. We cannot accept the fact that you're doing Tai Chi correctly if you just put your foot out here and call it an L stance. We need to come out and to the side on our heel so that there is a gap, especially when we bring back that foot. There needs to be a gap. This is a T stance. I'm rooted down, my energy stored here. I want to come out to the side in one motion on my heel of my left foot. It needs to come here. Then I turn my hips and waist, I adjust this back foot to 45 degrees, and this is my bow stance. When I drag back that front foot, there is a gap. Why wasn't there a gap when you thought there should be a gap? This is what you did that was wrong or incorrect, and maybe you think you did what you saw and heard, but it didn't come out the way it should. If you come out only here, it hardly gives you a gap you need. You need to come clearly out and to the side, but not to the point where we're splitting ourselves, comfortably out and to the side to make that rotation of our knees comfortable, okay? When we add hand motions like we're going to do today to review, brush knee, you're going to forget about those feet, and then you have to take it apart again and re-look at your feet positions, okay? So can we try one set really good? Actually, I'm going to watch. Okay, T stance, hands at your waist, root down, L stance, on your heel, move that energy, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, T stance, out and to the side, L stance, bow stance. Okay, so here's another thing, okay? Watch carefully. This is a T stance. When we come out on an L stance, remember we said that the foot on the L stance, when it finally flattens out, it should be parallel to the line of the floor or on a line. So, can you watch? If that is true, your foot should never stick out because the foot is not parallel to the line of the floor, neither is it on the floor. Therefore, it needs to be this way. So it's an L, not a V. Now, a way of checking you is if I do an L and it's parallel, and it's an L if I drew it back, how do you know how much space it should give you? What's the width? When you make a bow stance, adjust that back foot, the 2 feet are in line with your 2 shoulders. One here left, one here right. It's not this way where the shoulder is supposed to be calling in that foot to come back here. Shoulder width away. Okay, so need to study this piece a little bit more, okay? Everybody needs to study it a little bit more, otherwise you're going to have a hard time advancing. Okay, 2 sets of really good stuff that you just remembered, okay, or just were taught. T stance. We want to come out on our heel on an L stance. We need to come out and to the side. Show me where you want to come. Out with your hand and to the side. With your hand, out and to the side in one motion on your heel. Here we go. Think it through. T stance, out on your heel and to the side. Energy stored on the right, so therefore your foot is weighted. You want to bring up that energy, draw it across, flatten it down, adjust the back foot to a 45 degree. This is called a bow stance. Look at your front foot. Is it parallel to the line of the floor, or is it on a line? And can you sit up, and can you see that if you drag back the left foot all the way back, there is a gap? If there is, then that is correct. Getting back into a bow stance says that the knees and the toes are in line, and the back or right foot is like an arrow, but not locked in. This is called a sit back, sit down. Okay, and some of you have to take note of what it means to sit down and sit back and sit down. Get back out. Rolled into one, you need to sit back, sit down, but not get out of Tai Chi posture. You cannot swing your back because you're going to fall back. So all it's saying when you sit back, sit down, is moving that energy back to your back foot, sitting down on that imaginary stool so that your spine is still straight up. You're in good Tai Chi posture. Pivot on your left, root down or bear down your weight, move your right to a T. What do we need to do? L stance, out and to the side on our heel. Here we go. Out and to the side on our heel. Turn our hips and waist, move that back foot to a 45 degree, flatten out, bow stance. Can you see that your right foot is either on a line or parallel to the tile of the floor, the line? If you were to drag your front foot back, there should be a gap. Can you peek to see? If there is, then you're doing nicely, okay? If you're not, you're still doing nicely, but you need to adjust. Sit back, sit down. No swinging or arching of the back. Pivot, on a line, parallel to the line, T-stance. One more for more improvement. Out and to the side on a heel. Move the hips and waist, adjust the back foot, flatten out, bow stance. Sit back, sit down nicely, spine is straight. Pivot, firm down, root down, T, out and to the side, L. Turn the hips and waist, adjust the back foot, flatten, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot, T-stance. Very good. So already I see improvement. So good. Keep it that way, okay? But remember, it's going to take some practice and training of your body, okay? All right, I'm going to do something wrong just to prove a point, okay? Everything that you see about me is wrong. Now I'm going to call out wrong. It looks wrong. Why is it wrong? Okay, don't follow me. Okay? I'm over my knee. I'm going to fall forward. I need to keep my spine straight up and keep my Tai Chi posture. My knee was way beyond my toe. I need to bring it up and align it. When I sit back and sit down, I'm using my shoulder to fall back. So what do I need to do? I need to sit down, sit back on that stool, keep my spine straight. When I pivot, I say root down. That means hold your energy, store your energy on your rooted or planted foot, but I came up. It's not going to help me because now I have two weighted feet. When you have two weighted feet, there's going to be an accident. So you want to come down and store that energy so that this foot is weightless, it can move out. Okay? This is good posture. My spine is straight. I have that gap that I need. This is a good posture because I'm sitting back and sitting down, not arching my back. This is a good posture because I'm rooted down. I don't have a locked in knee. I'm storing my energy. Therefore, the other foot can move. I do not flare out my toes because we know that we need to be on a parallel or on a line to the tile of our feet. I turn my hips and waist. I adjust this back foot to a 45 degree. I plant down in a bow stance, keeping my Tai Chi posture. Sitting back, sitting down, pivot, so on and so forth, okay? All right. Last week we learned, correct me if I'm wrong, we learned how to brush our knee. Yes or no? Yes. It's difficult, yes? Okay. And everybody who knows how to do it probably can pick up a little bit more pointers. We said that it's a multitasking situation or movement. We said that one hand is parallel, and my sense of parallel is where the fingers are closer to the chest rather than parallel to the waistline. So can I get you to do your left hand parallel? And you see that I'm wearing a pair of mittens where 4 fingers are together and the thumb is away. rather than wearing a pair of gloves, okay? And my elbow is angled to the floor, not this way. Dropped. The shoulder and the elbow is dropped. Dropped rather than up this way, because I'm in line with my posture where the shoulders are dropped. The other hand, we said, is not to the side of our body, but slightly back, as if it were catching another ball coming from an angle. So can I get you to do this posture right now? Okay? Now, look at the hand that's higher. It's catching the ball this way, so can it be this way? Can the hand be this way? The palm out there? It's catching it from an angle. Therefore, the cup of the hand should be more in line with your ear rather than out to the field, okay? So this is the way it is, slightly back. That's better, okay? What does the multitask movement make you do? It makes you do this. Bring it to the ear as your other hand comes down. Can we do this? Out, in, down. Out, in, down. How are we going to brush our knee? We don't have a knee to brush yet because our feet are stable. But eventually we want to come to our ear, bring that parallel hand down. We want to round it out, brush our knee, and push out. Can you do that with me? Parallel and higher. Ear, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. One more time, parallel and higher. Glancing at your back hand. Ear, hand, turn your neck and face, brush your knee. One more time. Ear, hand, turn, neck, brush knee. Again. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. You do it, continually do it your way, the first way, okay? Ear, turn, round out to brush knee. Again, you're looking towards the wall, bulletin board, T-stance. Left hand parallel, right hand higher. We're going to do this, right? But we're going to do our feet also on an L stance. Here we go. Ear, hand, heel. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher root down on a T. Ear, heel, hand. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, hand, heel. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Hold your ball on a T. Okay, so don't put too much pressure on yourselves. You can't learn something that's very foreign in a few seconds, okay? Just back off. Just know that you're smart. You can do it. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? Right? Right. So, to struggle at something or to find it difficult is important. It helps us to grow. It helps us to be better. It helps us to regroup, rethink, be patient with ourselves, accept who we are in what we do. Okay, think about that. If you can't accept yourself, how can you expect someone to accept you? Okay? And believe me, it is one of the harder movements. So take your time on it, okay? This time I want you to watch, okay? Just watch, just zone out and take it all in. It's a little bit different, but it's a lot the same. Okay, so this is the position everybody's watching. Okay. This time when you watch now, I want you to run through your mind what you heard me asking of you. We said parallel and higher on a T. We said ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. We said sit back, sit down. We said pivot. We said root down. We said T. We said parallel, hand, heel, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, parallel, higher on a T. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, adjust the back foot, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, parallel, higher on a T. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. So yes, you say, wow, it looks so easy. How come I can't get it? It's hard. It took me ages to learn. Why is it hard? It's because the hands throw you off. So if the hands throw you off, and I'm sure they do, we need to just practice hands. After a while, the hands get used to what they're doing, and then there's another hurdle. We got to put our feet together. And they have to be in harmony, they have to be synchronized. So yes, it is difficult, so give yourself a chance, okay? Give yourself a chance. And if you're moving and you're not falling, that's pretty good, I would say, right? Sometimes you do feel like you're falling, and I can feel for you because you're in the same line. You're in the same line. To have balance, you're gonna have to move those feet apart and plant down. But if you stay in the same line and you're twisting and turning, you don't have the balance. Plus you're concentrating on your hands. So something's going to give. So that's why take it apart. Start with the feet. Get that really comfortable. Put your hands. And then work together. If they still aren't comfortable, take it apart again. Work with only your hands. Let's work with our hands. Okay, so I'm on the opposite. Again, I'll keep it that way. Left hand parallel. Where's your left hand parallel? I need to check everybody's parallel hand. So the fingers are closer to the chest rather than to your waist. So up here, okay? Wearing your mittens, all right? Your right hand is not to the side of your body, but slightly back in a higher plane. So it cannot be low like this, it has to be up higher. You're glancing with the corner of your eye at the back hand, right? And you're going to do this motion. Can I see you just do this motion? It's multitasking. You're bringing your top hand to your ear at the same time you're bringing the parallel hand down. Okay, look at this hand. Remember I said it's catching the ball, so it cannot turn any other way. Can you correct your hands if you're wrong? The ball is coming from that way, and you're going to catch it. So you cannot catch it when it's coming from the street, right? So that is important. I can call names, but I want you to stay alert, okay? So when you glance at it, it's coming into your ear, direction of your ear, if that helps you a little bit more. It's coming into the direction of your ear rather than out into outer space, okay? So therefore, parallel hand, back hand that's higher, coming closer to your ear, coming down. That is the first thing you need to do. The hand cannot come to the ear and then this comes down. It's multitasking at the same time. Beyond that now, the bottom hand, parallel hand has to come around. Can we just do the bottom hand? First we bring the top hand to our ear. The bottom hand comes out and around and sits to the side of our thigh. The bottom hand comes out, around, and to the side, okay? It comes down, out, and to the side. It comes to your ear, down, out, and to the side. It comes ear, down, out, brush your knee. Ear, down, out, brush your knee. Got it? But this hand was not doing anything. The top hand was not doing anything. It will enhance our movement. Watch first. Parallel hand, top hand. Ear, down, out, and around. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. One more time to watch. Ear, down, out, and around. Brush your knee. Okay, no one's going to follow, but this is what we're trying to get at. Ear, down, out, and around. But something's wrong because we stopped and did this to learn how to do the parallel hand. But to do it correctly, we need to do something like this. We have to do something like this. But that's even doesn't make sense because our body's not moving. So everybody's watching. How do we make it whole? We make it whole by T stance, L stance, bow stance, the basic footwork. So with the basic footwork, we're going to come ear, down, heel. Ear, heel, down, out and around, brush your knee. Can you see that I put it all together? Watch again. Ear, hand, heel, L stance, bow stance. Watch what my hips do for me. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist as if I'm moving my stored energy to bring it across. All right, ready to try, okay? On a T stance, left hand parallel, right hand higher, looking or glancing at your back hand. We're rooted down and storing our energy on our right. We're going to multitask. Ear and hand comes down, we're warming it up. Parallel hand is going to swing around to brush our knee, whereas our top hand is going to catch that ball coming from the field, right? But we need to put our feet together. We're on a T, we're going to come to an L. Here we go. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Again, T stance, parallel and higher. Ear, hand, heel, turn hips and waist, brush knee. Again, T stance, multitask. Ear, hand, heel, turn hips and waist, brush knee. Is it getting better? Okay, if it's not, let's practice. Ear, heel, hand, turn hips and waist, brush knee. Okay, looking better. One more time to cinch it down. T stance, take your time. Think it through. Don't be nervous. Keep your composure. Warming it up. Ear and hand, ear and hand, ear and hand and heel. Ear, ear, heel, hand, turn, brush knee. One more time to fix up those errors. Ear, hand, heel, turn, brush knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Right hand parallel, left hand higher on a T. Warm it up. Ear, hand, ear, hand, ear, hand, heel. Turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, hand, heel, turn hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, one more set. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, turn hips and waist. Brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Parallel higher on a T. Make it good. Ear, hand, heel, turn hips and waist. Brush your knee. Okay, wait. Now stay there. I like what I see. You got to the same wall that I'm looking at, and your posture looks pretty good. What did you do to get it there? One more time. Sit back. Parallel and higher. Twist. Multitask. Ear, hand, heel, turn hips and waist. Brush knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Right hand parallel, left hand higher. Ear, heel, hand, turn hips and waist. Brush knee. Now keep your position. So is your left hand catching that ball and is it centering you? Is the right hand sitting to the side of your hips as if it were holding a ball? Is your knee not beyond your toe? If it is, you know how to adjust it. Is your back leg, knee, left knee not locked in? Drag your front, put your hands down, drag your right foot back all the way straight and say, at least, is there a gap? Hopefully yes. But if it's no, then you know what do you have to do? You back up and you say, I didn't come out and to the side like she told me to. Okay, I didn't do it enough. Okay, so correcting and understanding is within your reach. You have ways of correcting yourselves. Okay, whatever you have now in leaving this class is a platform in which you are going to build on. It doesn't matter if it was not the way, I said to do it. It's okay. Everybody has to have a start. It's not okay if you don't have a start. Okay? So everybody's on their own journey. This is an individual discipline that teaches you about yourself, your system, your body, your mind, and how you can help it grow and be stronger and more confident and safer. Okay? So don't worry about what you can't do because other person can do, blah, blah, blah. Just don't worry about that. All right. Let's start with commencing form. Okay? Commencing form, repulsing the monkey, and then brush knee, and maybe one more. Okay? And just skim the surface. Do what you can. All right, good Tai Chi posture. Dropping those shoulders, hollowing out your chest, tucking your butt, tongue on your palate, head straight up, chin down, spine straight, and grow a little taller. Grow a little taller, but not pushing out your shoulders. Stretching out your ankles, legs, knees, thighs, hips, chest, neck, and head. Commencing form. Slowly drain the weight off of our left foot to allow our heel to come up on our sole, on our toe, balance off the ground, toe, sole, arch, heel. Hands rotate to the middle of the thighs. Take a deep breath in as we elevate both hands as if we're drawing up water. At shoulder level, push down that water. Make yourself small as you flex your knees. Left hand centers your body. Right hand rises up higher. Open both to the ceiling. Bring the back hand to your ear as you glance. Turn your face. Meet both hands in the middle. Slide forward, slide back. Center your right hand or front hand. Open both hands to the ceiling as the left hand rises up higher. Glancing at it, bringing it to your ear. Turning your face, meeting both hands in the middle. Sliding forward and sliding back as you repulse the monkey. Brushing your knee. T stance, left hand parallel, right hand up higher. We're going to multitask on an L stance. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, bring it out and around, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, T stance, root down, parallel and higher on a T. We're going to go into an L stance on a multitask. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, this is a drill. Parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot, parallel higher on a T. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Hold your ball on a T stance. How do you hold your ball on a T stance? T stance, left hand on the bottom, 2 inches below your navel. Right hand on chest level, bring it in. This is how you hold your ball. Okay? All right, so we're looking at the size of your ball. It's not tiny. It's not huge. It's positioned correctly. Okay? And your hands should be cupped as if to round out the ball rather than stiff like a block. You know, round out and soften your hands. This gets us ready for next week's lesson. Okay? So next week's lesson is easier. Let's try it. T stance, holding your ball correctly. Good Tai Chi posture. Out on an L, bottom hand pushes out to part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. This time the right hand holds the bottom of your ball. Left hand by your chest. Out on an L, bottom hand advances, comes out and parts the wild horse's mane, as if it were presenting a snack to the friend in front of you. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Right hand, chest level, left hand, 2 inches below your navel to hold your ball. Out on an L, move that ball. Bottom hand advances. Here it is. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Right hand on the bottom, left hand on the top to hold your ball nicely. Out on an L, move that ball. Bottom hand advances. Part the wild horse's mane on a bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Pivot. Hold your ball on a T stance. Okay? So you can see that next week's lesson is going to be easier, but it's cumulative in that everything we learn has to have a place in the 10 form. So far we learned commencing form, repulsing of the monkey, the hard one, which is brush your knee, and the fourth one next week will be parting of the wild horse's mane. That's 4. Parting of the wild horse's mane, then a really nice one, a little bit difficult but lots of fun, is cloud hands, a sideways motion. After cloud hands, it's our friend, golden cockerel, left and right. Then our other friend, kick out right, kick out left. So we have 4 that are given already. So we can easily join them together. And then all we have after that is apparent closing, embrace the tiger, closing form, which we can still have a lot of time for. But can you see that if you let yourselves go too far, that when it accumulates or it's a cumulative movement, that those movements that were not really learned and worked on will catch up with you, okay? Right now we're just going on a smaller section of movements, but as we get bigger, these smaller sections that are not learned so well will kind of work at you, okay? I don't want to scare you, but I don't want to leave you behind too much, okay? And I'm not one to leave people behind. So do what you can to watch, do what you can to understand, do what you can to teach your body something new. And you'll be happy, I'll be happy, and you're on a good journey. All right, I'm going to do the 10 form for you now, and I want you to look at how I basically use T-step, L stance, bow stance, how my hands go for the ride. Okay, so something that we didn't really dwell on, but on my, all the other classes are getting familiar with the phrase, the hands go for the ride. In that, once my hand is set up, it goes for the ride because I'm using my body. If it does not, if I do not use my body, my hands are only a hand motion. And it's awkward, it's poor alignment. But basically, if I set it up correctly, I tell my mind, I tell my core that I need to turn, come out. There is hardly any hand motion other than it being attached to my body, my core, okay? So here goes. Watch what you can and enjoy it, I would say. So you all can do it. I promise, okay? But you have to come, you have to do some practicing, and you have to have a good attitude. You have to have a good mindset that whatever you do, as funny, as goofy as it feels, it is worth a lot, okay? And only you can do that. And only you can build on it, okay? And so what if the other person or the other people in the video are doing it more smoothly? They had to struggle at it too. I had to struggle, Ken had to struggle. We all had to start somewhere. Good job.
People ask us, why do we make our shows?
Because everybody that's on Olelo wants more for our community.
And it gives us an avenue in which we can be heard.
This is real world stuff without the gloss.
That's how we enrich and develop the community.
And every community needs a way to talk.